Hi, welcome back to the lesson 4. In this lesson, we are learning about functions in C++. So in previous videos, we looked at the basic syntax for functions. We understand the concept of pass by value and pass by reference. And then later on, we had a look at the arrays in functions as well. Now in this video, we are going to look at the concept of arguments and return values with the help of some examples to understand this concept in much better way. We can have four views of function with respect to the return type and arguments. A function that has no arguments and no return value. A function that has no argument but a returning value. A function with argument but no return value. A function with argument and a return value. So let's demonstrate each and every kind of a function, situation of a function with the help of simple examples. Let's have a look. Alright, welcome to the code blocks window. Now, to demonstrate this first view of function, let's suppose we have to find the prime number, whether the given number is a prime or not. So one way of doing it is that we should not pass any kind of argument to the function and also should not return anything from the function. Let's have a look at how can we design such kind of function. So first of all, in declaration and definition of function, we will are returning nothing, so we will type void keyword here. Then we will say prime, denoting that we are finding prime. And we will keep this argument space empty because we are demonstrating no return type and no arguments condition. Now, first of all thing is cout. Enter the number to find it is prime or not. So we will enter a number here. So that number can be integer num, and we will say C in num. Take num as an input. So you will learn with this example about prime number implementation as well. So it might boost up your logical understandings as well of other concepts like if else, etc. So what are prime numbers? Prime numbers are the numbers that are divisible by 1 or by themselves only. So when you look at the prime numbers, they start from 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, etc. and etc. Let's say we received a number. So let's start from integer I is equals to 2 and I is less than or equals to the number entered and I plus plus. Why I wrote this? Because I want to start from 2 because the prime number starts from 2. And why I have to go up until number? Because I have to check with every number is it divisible or not. So let's say if the number we have, if the number percent the I is equals to 0, then we may introduce a counter variable integer count, and we will say count is equals to plus equal 1. Okay, so this is the number. Now what condition we will have here? If the count is equals to 2, if the count is equals to 2, that means that the number is prime number. So we will print prime number. It is prime number. Else not a prime number. Okay, so let's test this logic and we will call this function here. Okay. Okay, we have some kind of error which is integer count. Oh, sorry. Now it will be right. Okay, enter the number to find it is prime or not. Let's say 2. Not a prime number, but 2 is a prime number. 2 is a prime number. So there is one logical error that we did, is that initially we said a number that is multiplied by itself or by 1. But for this logic, if you are starting from 2 only, because every number is divisible by 1, so we will say if the count is only equals to 1, now the 2 will be a prime number. It is a prime number, so it's working. Now let's test another prime number, that is 3. It is a prime number. Now let's test another number, that is 5. It is a prime number. So prime number is showing, but let's check it with non-prime number, that is 4. Not a prime number. So our logic is working good and we are getting the result, the required result. And what we did is that we passed no arguments and no return value. And without even returning a value and passing an argument, we got our required result. Now let's implement this same example with different situation. What can be the different situation? That we may pass the arguments. So we will receive this num as a argument from user. Okay, so we will receive this num as an argument from user, and we will just cut this code from here and we will paste this in the main code, and we will pass this num here. Now let's have a look. 2, it is a prime number. 4, it is not a prime number. So it is working again. So this was the second situation, which is that we may pass some argument but no return value. But let's say we have to pass we do not want to pass an argument, but still we want to return the value or not. So we will say here that we have a bool return. What is bool? Bool is true or false. Okay, and we are not receiving anything. We are not receiving anything. So we will cut this code from here. We will have this once again here. Now what will be the return if return true and return false? Okay, so now what we changed, that we are not receiving anything but we are returning something, that is data type is bool. Now what will happen here, that we will perform our required calculations here, then we will check if count is equals to 1, it is a prime number, but we do not want to print this here because we will decide in our main function whether the number is prime or not. Still we are returning 2 statements. Now in previous videos I already told you that we cannot have multiple return in our function, but there is an exception. The exception is that if we have decision control statements in which there are multiple return statements, but all of them depend upon a different situation or different conditions, so then we can have, because in one time you can satisfy only one condition, so actually you are returning one statement at a time. So we will be returning either true or either false. Now let's say we introduce a variable here, or maybe we can say that if prime number, we are not sending this, so we will just say this, if prime is returning true, then print. C out, it is prime, else C out, it is not a prime. So will it work? Let's have a look. Okay. So enter the number to find it is prime or not. 2. It is a prime. We are giving the input as 7. It is a prime. Yes, 7 is a prime. Let's test 8 this time. It is not a prime. So what's happening here is that we are getting input from the user here, and we are applying our logic. Let's start from I is equals to 2 and up to I is less than or equals to num, and calculate how many numbers it is getting divided by. Okay. So for example, if we enter 4, then 4 divided by 2 is equals to 0. So count is 1. Then 4 divided by 3 is not equals to 0. So count is not incremented. But 4 divided by 4 is equals to 0 as well. So count is incremented by 1 again. So the count value is 2 for 4. Now here we have a test condition. If count is equals to 1, then return true. Okay, we have a return value. If count is not equals to 1, it is something else, then return false. In main function, what we did, we haven't passed anything, but we received a returning value on the basis of which we applied an if-else condition. We said that if prime is equals to true, it is a prime. If prime is not equals to true, it is not a prime. Now we have the last situation in which we are going to send arguments and also have a returning value as well. Now what we can do is that we will just cut this code from here, cut from here, and we will paste this here, and we will have this num as our argument. Okay, and now we have got the function that is receiving an argument and also returning a value and performing the same operation. Now let's have a look. Oh sorry, I didn't cut this from here. Sorry, we should have cut this. So C in num. Now let's run this program. Okay, all right, we have some kind of errors going on here because we are not receiving the num here. So we should receive the num here. Okay, just little mistakes that take place while programming. So 2, it is a prime. 4, it is not a prime. So our function is working flawlessly. Now what we learned in this topic is that we can have multiple situations of the same function. For example, we can have a function with no return type, with no receiving argument. Still we may be able to perform the same operation. We can have a situation that we might have a return type but not receiving an argument from main function. This may still work. We may face a situation where we receive an argument and we are returning the value as well. So everything I have demonstrated here. So if whatever the needs are, you now have the basic understanding of syntax and working of returning values and accepting the arguments / parameters from calling a function. I hope this video would have helped you to enhance your concept about functions in C++ more. So I'll meet you guys in the next video with another topic regarding the functions.